Hello. I wanted to ask you guys a question about the content that you see. I follow a lot of people online, a lot of people building cars, even the ones that are my favorites that you see at the end credits. There's a lot more of them that I've watched. I just either haven't subscribed to or haven't watched, regularly enough to do it. So with this Celica deal, I have no desire to restore this car and drive a Celica. I have no idea to keep a Celica. But I do want to make one of my Crickets, I'd like to make all of the Crickets, but one of the Crickets I want at least to be modern enough to keep up with traffic, get good gas mileage, be completely reliable, and be easy to find parts for. So fuel injection was one of my big things. I was looking into a Miata, but it looks like the more and more I look into Miatas, they're going to be too wide, and the proportions, the firewall's too far back, things like that I just don't really like. There's a guy on YouTube, I think the channel's called Old Jalopy, This Old Jalopy or something like that. The guy took a Miata, I think they call it the Frankenwagon or something like that. He took a Miata and a square body, or square back, and mated them. And it actually came out pretty good, other than the track was a lot wider on the Miata. I think the square back track is wider than the Avenger, so that would be a major problem. I had done the measurements before, I rechecked them, and it looked like a 78 or 77 Celica or Corona proportions would be about right. I think the Corona proportions were actually just about, perfect. Trying to find one, they do keep a pretty decent value, so they'd be really expensive, and I don't really have any money. The Celica could work, they're a lot easier to find, but they command a lot of money. Supposedly, this hood that I'm sitting on right here is worth about 200 bucks. I don't know. So, I will be parting out this car. Like, the fenders are rusty, but they're really not that bad. I'm sure there's a lot of you guys in the Rust Belt states that are probably looking at this car and screaming, "Oh my God, that car's great compared to what I've got or what we have." It's just good enough chassis-wise for me to use. So the body parts, I will be gentle. I will be keeping them. They will be available once we get out there. So on that, you guys coming from the Avenger Facebook groups or whatever, you're not going to see any actual Avenger work happening for a while, probably not till next year, because I'm here and all the Crickets are in Kansas. So what I am going to do is get this car roadworthy. I'm going to get it reliable, safe, and legal in that order. So I'm planning on commuting with this thing. So I need to get it up and running. I need to make sure it's going to run and drive and not break down on me. I'm going to make it legal. I'm going to put taillights and stuff like that. And so that way, when the time comes next year, I'm going to drive it to Kansas. Once we get moved out there, depending on what's happening with the house, there's a lot of things that we can do with the house. Most of the things are going to be handled by the contractor. So if I have a bunch of downtime, then I can start working on stuff side by side. I can strip this car down to a pretty much bare shell. I can't really strip the Cricket down because it's in the front yard. This thing, there's a place to park it in the backyard when I want to see it. So what you're going to see on this channel for this Celica is me fixing the Celica. I'm on the fence whether I should go ahead and keep posting the videos up on the Avenger sites, even though it has nothing to do with an Avenger currently. It will, so I probably won't. That being said, you will be able to see the content. It'll be in the Avenger playlist, but it won't be. Or I might make its own Celica playlist and then, you know, put it in the adventure playlist when the time comes. So that's that. Now, what I want to ask from you guys, your viewers, you people who come from the Courier playlist, you people who come from the Avenger playlist and whatever else is happening, I'm very interested to know what kind of content you guys want. Would you prefer to keep the cameras rolling, maybe speed it up, maybe not, and actually watch me doing the work, or would you prefer for me to keep what I have been doing more often, and that's, you know, okay, we're going to bleed the brakes. You know, I'm going to pull these wheels off, bleed the brakes, and then we'll be back at you. And then the camera goes off, and it comes back. Okay, we got the brakes bled. Now we're moving on to this project, and I'll see you in a bit. And then after a bit, boom. Okay, we got that done. I understand that there's some things that are going to be very interesting that you're going to want to see. Like, you know, if I pull this Weber off again to rebuild it again, you might want to actually see the disassembly process, stuff like that. You know, and that stuff will happen. But the generic, vanilla, possibly boring things, you guys want to see. If you could, leave me a comment. Tell me what you would prefer to see as far as that stuff goes. This channel's at the moment more or less at a standstill as far as we're showing my projects. Or, you know, like I had the Mustang in here was Matt's, but still, you know. The junkyard crawls, the junkyards out here in Washington won't allow you to film in them. I could probably sneak in some iPhone footage, maybe, but I kind of know a lot of these people, and so I don't want to piss them off. And, you know, if it is illegal, I don't know if it is. There's a lot of weird laws in the state. I don't want to run into that problem either. When we get moved out to the Midwest, I plan on making a lot of junkyard videos. Between my buddy Jim, who owns 3 scrapyards in the same area, and then there's like Bud Salvage in Alene, Oklahoma. There's another salvage place up north in Kansas. There's a couple people in Kansas that have a lot of classic cars. I could probably go up, spend an afternoon, film stuff there. You will be seeing a lot of that content in addition to my projects, like the DeSoto. My father-in-law insists that I get rid of the DeSoto because I'm never going to work on it. I'm never going to get that thing on the road. So I told him in 2 years that thing will be running and driving. It won't be restored, but it'll be running and driving. So that is going to definitely have to take somewhat of a priority. This, I don't know how long it's going to take to actually do this. From the videos I'm watching, if I'm working on it like I'm working on stuff here, it won't take long. That being said, my body is not able to keep up with this stuff. This working on the Mustang really killed me. Towards the end there, I was getting, well, it was really hard to get around. So I don't know how much I'll be able to keep up with it. I seem to do better out there. It might be the sunshine. You know, the seasonal affective disorder is a real thing. I didn't think it bothered me until I lived here, so that could be a realistic thing. But we'll see. I've got a lot of projects. I've got one small garage, and I need to prioritize which one I'm working on. I may work on something gung-ho for a couple weeks and then switch over to something for a few days or a week and then get back on the other one just to kind of, you know, keep from burning myself out. I don't know. We'll see. But that being said, please leave comments. Tell me the kind of content you want to see, the details you want to see me get into. Until then, we'll see you guys next time.